Hi, it's Brian. Welcome to the Awards Contender, and I had to drop in with a new video today celebrating this morning's news that the Academy has added a new Oscar category, Best Casting. This is the first new Oscar category since way back in 2001, Best Animated Feature, and I am so excited. This has been a long time coming. I have always wanted to see a Best Casting Oscar since like the 1990s. I adore actors. I think choosing the right actors for your movie, that goes for the lead roles, the supporting roles, the bit parts, the background players, all of it. It is essential to making a great motion picture. If you cast the wrong person, especially for your lead roles, your film can completely crumble. Casting is so crucial. I think it's as important as your film's cinematography, production design, sound, visual effects, makeup, hairstyling, everything. Like, bad casting has ruined hundreds and hundreds of films throughout the years that pretty much nobody talks about anymore. If you get the right people, your movie can soar. And so yes, I am very excited about this morning's news. Now, this is not obviously going to be a factor at this year's Oscar ceremony. It's also not going to be a factor at next year's ceremony. This Oscar category will begin in 2026 at the 98th Academy Awards ceremony. Honoring the films of 2025, Academy President Janet Yang said, quote, "Casting directors play an essential role in filmmaking, and as the Academy evolves, we are proud to add casting to the disciplines that we recognize and celebrate. We congratulate our casting directors branch members on this exciting milestone and their commitment and diligence throughout this process." Academy Casting Director branch governors Richard Hicks, Kim Taylor Coleman, and Deborah Zane said in a joint statement, quote, "On behalf of the members of the Casting Directors branch, we'd like to thank the Board of Governors, the Awards Committee, and Academy leadership for their support. This award is a deserved acknowledgement of our casting directors' exceptional talents and a testament to the dedicated efforts of our branch." So apparently there's been a movement to get an Oscar in casting since the 1990s, but it just never gained enough traction. But in recent years, it's come up more and more, and I've definitely heard about it. Obviously, I was hopeful, but I don't know. Since it's been more than 20 years since the last new Oscar category, and because year to year, they're always trying to shorten the show. Like, adding a category means a longer running time to the ceremony, so I was like, I don't think that's going to happen. Same with best stunts, or like mocap work, voiceover work. I was like, sound was two categories for a long time, and then just recently that became one category, very simply, best sound. So yeah, I'm a little bit surprised, to be honest, but joyful. This is a long time coming. I used to work in casting from 2008 to 2010. For 2 years, I worked for a casting director named Valerie McCaffrey on independent feature films and a little bit in television. She was the casting director for such films as Babe, American History X, and Hard Candy. And for 2 years, I got to see the ins and outs of how people are cast in movies. And it is a process, y'all. It is a process. Every character in a movie, the lead roles, the small minor roles with one line, we would hold all-day casting sessions, auditions for weeks and months for one project. There was a film we worked on, I want to say for about a year, and we must have had hundreds and hundreds of people read for the two lead roles until the director and the casting director together decided on who they wanted to put in the movie. I'm not sure if the average Joe quite understands how casting works. It's not like the director decides, okay, these are the people I want in the movie, and then the casting director just sends out offers and that's it. That's all they do. Obviously there are films where the director has someone in mind for the lead role. And sometimes the casting director doesn't necessarily have to read hundreds of people. Sometimes the director and casting director might go after one person, they say yes, and then that's it. Sometimes it's easy like that. Oftentimes, it's not. Oftentimes, you get a no and a no and another no. Sometimes you don't hear anything for weeks and you're like trying to figure out what to do next. And again, casting is so much more than just your 2 or 3 lead roles in a film. It goes all the way down to the people you just see in the background of scenes, the waiter who comes in and has one line. Every single person you see in the frame of a movie is casting, and I do think it is an essential part of the filmmaking process that should be rewarded. Now, having said that, I am curious to see what the guidelines will be in terms of, like, can a film with only 2 or 3 people be considered? Like, I don't think best casting is necessarily the most people in a movie. I feel like this year, best casting would probably be like Barbie, Oppenheimer, Poor Things. Like, I think best casting is separate from best ensemble. Those are 2 things we are rewarding. I don't want the best casting Oscar category to just match the SAG ensemble nominees year to year, 100%. Sometimes best casting is just a few people in a movie. Like, I think one of the films of 2023 that had the best casting was Past Lives. I think getting just the right people for those 3 characters was pivotal to the success of that movie. Same goes for like 1995's Before Sunrise. That is a movie that's basically 2 people walking and talking, but if you had put anybody but Ethan Hawke or Julie Delpy in those lead roles, I'm not sure that film would have worked. I don't think it would have lasted as long as it did. And I don't think it would have inspired 2 masterpiece 9 years later sequels. So I don't want best casting to just be about the films with the largest ensembles. Casting is more than that. But I do think Academy voters might think that way when they're voting, and so it'll be curious to see how this all plays out. I just think there are so many hardworking, incredibly talented casting directors who have been doing great work for years and decades, and they've never gotten any recognition from the Academy. The time has finally come. I can't wait to see these brilliant artists who contribute so much to movies year after year finally get their flowers and get that gold trophy on the Oscar stage. This is fantastic news, a new Oscar category after more than 20 years, best casting coming your way in 2026. Thanks so much for watching and subscribing, and let me know in the comments below what you think of this new Oscar category, best casting. Do you think it's about time, or do you have some questions about it? We'll see you next time at the Awards Contender.